people, welcome. We're back, and now we're entering the spooky phase of the mystery streams. Hello. As if you may have noticed, we are returning once again to Umineko, since it's been a year since I've actually touched back on it. But I figured it'd be a nice time to revisit it and see how far we can get to the story. We're almost near the good part. And if you missed any events or need a refresher, there are still VODs that are in my YouTube channel. The Spoopy month's in October. Untrue! The Spoopy month can start in September. But yeah, I've been away on vacation. I went to Disneyland. I did other things. So I had a fun time. Hopefully chat is doing well as well. So, without further ado, we're gonna get started in Umineko. But a brief summary, it's a family gathering that came to this island just to see their, I guess their father / grandpa. And they're like, oh, we need the inheritance. But grandpa's like, no, I'm too busy simping for a witch. Don't bother me. Anyway, struggle amongst yourselves so you can maybe find the inheritance money on your own. And they're like, oh, okay. So that's kind of where we're at now. Again, it will make more sense if you just looked at the VODs. Yeah, the puppet wrestler, her doll joints. So, let me just turn out the Spotify, but also get the volume. Wow. Hopefully the volume is okay. This sounds pretty loud on my end. There we go. So anyway, last time, unfortunately, my save file kind of got deleted as I was transferring files to this new computer. Which again, this game I haven't touched for what seems like a year now, so it makes sense. But I was able to fast forward enough so we can get to the place where we left off. So hello Ludwig, hello. This is a visual novel, but also horror mystery. So there's gonna be a lot of reading here. So get yourself comfy and everything. Hopefully the volume is okay. Oh, hold on. I need to get rid of the background noise as well. There we go. Oh, I thought you wanted to play Liza P. No, I'm too baby for a Souls-like game. I'd rather just watch a LP of it, so. Instead I'm doing something more up to my speed. No ticker popped up on the TV program while we were watching. A disaster report told us how, well, told us all over we're continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warning. Of course, the harshly beating raindrops on the window were much more convincing. Ugh, this rain's incredible. Still, when it's raining this hard, it feels like it's going to stop soon. So this is our protagonist, Battler Yoshiramiya, and his cousin, Jessica Yoshiramiya. Heh, you wish. They say the typhoon's moving slow, so it could be like this all day tomorrow. Oh, thank you Adonis for the 13 months, much appreciated. Also, gentle reminder, it is September, so any new subs you want to get now will be 30% off, so take advantage of it now if you'd like. No pressure, of course. Also, hello Babakins. You wish. They say the typhoon's moving slow, so it could be like this all day tomorrow. And even a little weather, I'd be enough to stop the boats. Also our cousin, George Yoshiramiya. It looks like we won't be able to head out on the Sunday after all. I'm glad I was cautious and didn't make any appointments for Monday with this outside world. I guess this means hehehe. Looks like we'll be skipping school Monday. You'll be doing more than just skipping school.
島生活ってのも悪くないもんだぜ。
Living on an island starting to look pretty good. Oh, sweet summer child, if only you knew.
そういや、ジェシカは登校って毎日船で通ってるわけだろ。
Come to think of it, Jessica, you have to take a boat to school every day, right?
船が欠航したら学校はどうなるんだ？
What do you do when the boats are closed down?
カメハメハ大王並みに雨が降ったらお休みで風が吹いたら遅刻してか？
Do you stay home when it rains and shows up late when the wind's blowing like a king kamehameha? What is this, like a Dragon Ball Z reference?
船が出なきゃ休みになるぜ。
If the boats don't come, I stay home.
もっともそう甘くはねえけどな。
Still, it's not as good as it sounds.
大抵その代わりに自習が指示されて後でかっちりと見られるからそうそう気楽でもねえさ。
Chotto mante, need to do something first. Window display mode. BGM chapter display, song titles, textbook window. Yeah, I wanted to change the textbook window. Exit though. Oh, that's much better. I didn't want the giant logo like in the corner there. Too distracting. If the boats don't come, I stay home. Still, it's not as good as it sounds. Most of the time, I get ordered to do private study, and they're super anal about checking it, so it's not like I can take it easy.
例えば、梅雨なんかの長く天気が崩れる時期だと
During the rainy season, when the weather stays bad for a long
数
time,
日間くらい登校できないこともあるんじゃねえのか？
you must be forced to miss a bunch of days in a row.
そういうこともあるぜ。
Yep, that happens.
でも毎日きっちり担任から電話がかかってきてどう自習しろ何を提出しろとすっぱく指導されるけどな。
But then every single day I'll get a call from my homeroom teacher sourly instructing me on what to study and what to turn in.
バトラ君が考えてるほど簡単にはサボれないよ。
She can't slack off as easily as you're thinking, Battler-kun.
船で通う人たちのルールに従ってしっかり勉強をしているよ。
She has to follow the rules for people that want to travel to school by boat and get a good amount of studying done.
むしろ登校できた方が気楽だぜ。
It should be easier to just go to school.
自分の部屋じゃ気が散るし集中もできねえしな。
My own room, I get distracted and can't concentrate. Yeah, that's totally relatable. I can't study for the life of me, especially if I'm in my own room with all my stuff together.
それでいて問題集ばっかり数日もやらされてるとかなり精神的に応えるもんがあるぜ。
Plus, being made to do nothing but workbooks for several days straight is really mentally stressful.
大学の時にはよ寮のあるところに入ってさっさとこんな不便な島はおさらばしたいもんだぜ。
Yeah, ADHD isn't private study friendly, relatable. When I'm ready for college, I really just want to go placed with dorms and say goodbye and good riddance to the pain in the ass island.
へえ。
Huh?
じゃあよ、ちなみに行きは天気が良くても帰りは悪くて欠航ってなったらどうすんだ？
So by the way, what do you do when the weather's good in the morning, but then it gets so bad on your way home that the boats are closed?
学校に泊まるのか？
Do you spend the night at school?
そういうのはよくあることだぜ。
That actually happens a lot.
だから帰島できない人用の宿泊所があってよ。
So they have those lodgings there for people who can't get back to the island.
そこに寝泊まりするんだよ。
I stay over
下
there.
手すりゃ数日間家に帰れないこともあったりするぜ。
Sometimes when it gets really bad, I can't go back to home for a few days at a time.
乗車率が 200% を超えるような満員電車で毎日通勤通学しなければならない人から見てみると
If you look at it from a perspective of those people who have to go to school every day on a train packed with over 2,000 capacity,
船の通学なんて
200% capacity,
趣があって良さそうだななんて無責任に思っちゃうけど
it's easy to irresponsibly think that going to school on a boat seems pretty interesting and
やっ
fun.
ぱりいろいろと苦労があるんだね
But it's actually hard work in a lot of few ways.
よく無神経な観光客がそういうこと言ってるぜ。私は島の生活なんてもうお腹いっぱいだね。早く高校出てこんな島とはおさらばしたいぜ。
Inconsiderate tourists say that kind of thing all the time. I've had enough of island life. I just want to finish high school quick and leave this island behind.
高校にだって全寮制のところとかあったのよ。なんでわざわざ新島の学校を選んだんだよ。
There must be a full boarding school you could have gone to. Why do you go and choose a school at Nijima?
私は最初からそれを希望してたぜ。でもおふくろがよ、当主後継ぎとしての修行やらマナーやらがうんぬんってうるさくてよ。
That's how I wanted from the very beginning. It's mom, she's always going on about how I need to learn manners and discipline as a successor of the head.
結局高校も地元になっちまったのさ。こんな島はごめんだぜ。早く都会で生活したいよ。雨が降ろうが槍が降ろうが、ラフな格好でサンダルを履けば5分足らずでコンビニに行けるような都会に引っ越したいぜ。
In the end, I just got stuck with a high school close to home. Man, I hate this island. I just want to go live in a city. A city where it doesn't matter if rains or even spears fall from the sky. Because as long as you stick some casual clothes and sandals on, you can still get shop in less than 5 minutes.
もう少しの辛抱だよ。高校卒業まであとちょっとでしょ。
Hold on for just a bit more. It's only a little longer until you graduate high school, right?
そのちょっとも我慢できねえぜ。
I can't wait a little longer. Ugh. Jessica stretched out and reclined on the sofa. Maybe because now was a bad time, there wasn't any interesting programs on. And we had nothing to do but languidly kill time until we called for dinner. In the end, Maria had not returned to the cousin's room. She had probably been brought back to the mansion by Auntie Rosa. It had to be pretty boring for Maria all by herself while the adults were having a confusing conversation. We thought we might head over to the mansion to see her, but after all there was this lousy weather. And there wasn't much time until dinner, so we stayed where we were. At the time we heard the sound of a humble knock. Jessica answered.
Hi.
Hey y'all!
お食事の準備が整いました。
The preparations for dinner are complete.
お屋敷へお越しください。
Please come to the mansion. It was Kanan-kun's voice. He is the Shota butler in this universe. He went to the trouble of coming from the mansion in this rain just to call us over? Couldn't he have just called us on the telephone? Oh, well, maybe sometimes part of the servant's duties to just go against common sense.
なんとなくお腹が空いてきた頃だったしね。
Just when I was getting hungry.
行こうか。
Let's go. George Aniki turned off the television and stood up.
俺はとっくにペコペコ。本家の晩餐は毎回凝ってるしな。それにゴーダさん、子牛のステーキとか言ってなかったっけ？たまらねえぜ。
Ah, my stomach's been growling for ages. Man, main family dinners were always fancy as hell every time. And didn't Goda-san said it was a calf steak or something? Oh, I can't wait. I'm guessing it's like veal.
親族会議の日は特に豪華になるしな。
They get even more fabulous on the day of the family conference.
私だって楽しみだぜ。
Even I'm looking forward to it.
行こう行こ
Let's go, let's go! As we left the room, Cannon bowed silently and respectfully.
う。じゃあ行こうぜ。外の振りはだいぶひどいだろう。
Alright, let's go. Is the rain nasty out there?
はい。
Yep.
お召し物を濡らさぬよう十分ご注意ください。
Please take care to not get your garments wet. After seeing the three of us, Cannon-kun peered into the empty room.
マリア様はいらっしゃいませんか？
Is Maria-sama not with you?
一緒じゃないぜ。
No?
ローザおばさんと一緒じゃないのかよ。
Isn't she with Auntie Rosa? From the last episode, Maria was desperately looking for a very specific rose in the garden outside. But I guess they just kind of left her there. If you're familiar with Umineko or at least seen the old anime, which wasn't really a good adaptation to begin with, you'll probably have some idea of what this story is, at least some of it. Rosa, lying on the sofa in the empty parlor, had fallen asleep at some point. She was bearing a burden on her shoulders that the children could never even imagine. Therefore, when she left herself relaxed, that exhaustion quickly led her into the world of sleep. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket over to her. When he tried to spread over her, her eyes snapped open as though she has received an electric shock. Oh, it's you, Genji-san. Thank you. When she realized that the thing that touched her was a blanket and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let out a sigh of relief. Did I wake you? My sincere apologies. No, it's okay. I hadn't planned on sleeping in the first place. What time is it now? As for the time, Genji checked the pocket watch took out of his chest pocket. It's slightly after 6 o'clock. Rosa gave out her head a little shaken as she realized that even though it had felt like she had slept for a long time, not much time had actually passed. Even though she didn't feel rested at all, the drowsiness that wrapped her felt like very deep. Thank you, I'll be fine without the blanket. I mustn't sleep at such a strange time. My sense of time has been completely thrown off. The rain has finally come down, I see. Rosa finally realized that the peaceful sound that put her to sleep was actually the rain that started falling. The wind is blowing hard too. Perhaps the typhoon is finally upon us. In case you haven't realized, this visual novel is a very slow burn, which eventually will get to the good part, which I would not spoil even though this game is pretty old. That is what they're saying on television. The typhoon is moving slowly, and they expect it to be like this throughout tomorrow. I see, that wonderful rose garden. That must have been my last chance to see it. From the window, what she could see was the rose garden was completely blurred by the wind and rain. Maria. That's right, where is Maria? I have not seen her. I would think she had returned to the guest house. Rosa knew her daughter's nature well, and a chill ran up her back. Maria was stupidly straightforward to the point that stupidly could be repeated 7 times. And if she had ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look forever and ever. And even if the rain was pouring down. No, the cousins left earlier, so Maria was all alone. Unless someone told her to stop, she would stay there even if the spears fell down from the sky, without even opening an umbrella. Ah, what have I done, losing control of my emotions? As her mother, she had known about Maria's foolish straightforwardness better than anyone, yet she had once again lost control of her emotions, and done such a horrible thing. Rosa pushed Genji out of the way and ran down the hallway. The outside really looked like a typhoon and was pouring down magnificently. Maybe because some of the figure of the terrain, the winds were not as strong as the typhoon, so an umbrella wouldn't be torn from one's hands. Even so, it was enough to call out the storm. There was no time to admire the roses being soaked in the rain. Hello, Wanka, you made it just in time for Umineko. Maybe I should lower the volume a bit more. Effect. Voice volume. Yeah. I've been using the OST for the gym. That's cool. That's cool. Usually I use like a lot of anime songs for the gym, especially Sonic. Anyway, I'm getting pretty worried about Maria.
まさかあの後もずっと一人でへそ曲げてあそこでバラ探しをしてるなんてことはないよな。
You don't think she's still rebelliously searching for that rose alone, do you?
そうだね。
I wonder.
さすがにこの雨じゃと思いたいところだけど、マリアちゃんはたまにすごく頑固でものすごく愚直な時がある。
Surely not with this much rain. It's what it would like to think, but Maria-chan is sometimes really stubborn, foolishly simple. We hadn't worried much thinking about Auntie Rosa had taken her back to the mansion. However, it was concerning that Canon-kun had thought that Maria was there when he came to the mansion to call us.
お屋敷ではお見かけしませんでしたので、てっきりこちらにおられるとばかり。ローザ様は仮眠を取られておいででしたので。
I did not see her in the mansion, so I assumed that she was here, since Rosa-san was taking a nap.
ここに来る途中に見かけなかったのかよ。
You didn't see her on her way over here?
申し訳ございません。
My apologies.
傘を差し、急ぎ駆け抜けたもので、そこまでの注意を払いませんでした。
My apologies. I opened my umbrellas and ran as fast as I could, so I did not pay much attention. If he had cut through the rose garden in the shortest line between mansion and the guest house, then he would have missed the place where Maria had been looking for a rose by a little. And it was raining this hard too. There was a good chance that Canon-kun had failed to notice her.
ここで議論するより直接確かめる方が早いぜ。
Enough debating around here. It'd be faster to just check out directly.
兄貴、ちょいとかけっこと行こうじゃねえかよ。
Aniki, you up for a little race?
6年成長したから僕に勝てるつもりかい？
So you think you can beat me now that you've had 6 years to grow?
よし、決着をつけようじゃないか。
Alright, let's find out.
行こう。
Let's go. George Aniki and I flew into the rain. Jessica and Cannon followed us. Maria, if you're there, answer me, Maria.
ローザおばさんだ。
Santi Rosa.
おばさん。
When George Aniki called back, Auntie Rosa flew at him with the utmost amount to tackle. Where's Maria? Isn't she with you?
いえ、僕たちはあの後マリアちゃんには出会ってません。
Yes, this bench used to beat the crap out of Maria. Now she's paying the price for it. Hold on. I don't like the sound effects being so loud. Here we go. Jesus. Yeah. No, we haven't seen Maria since then. Yeah, fucking mom of the year. Everyone's gonna die tonight. I mean, you're not wrong. I know this is spoilers, but I have a hard time understanding Rosa's arc as her younger self. I still can't wait to see that. I also have trouble understanding that myself, but you know, we'll see when we get there. Also, guys, since it is my anniversary month next month, I do have some things I would announce. I am getting a new outfit soon, and I am making a new anniversary merch because it has been 2 years now since I started streaming. So fancy that, huh? I'll get more into it maybe later in the stream. 6 years ago, Maria had been 3 years old. She had been a cute and pure kid who wouldn't just accept whatever anyone said. But 6 years had passed since then. She was 9 now, and experiencing the good and bad parts of life should have taught her something. And yet she's still as innocent and pure as she used to be.
Maria!
Maria! As I circled the rose bed, something white unexpectedly turned to face me. It was a white umbrella. Maria, holding a white umbrella, was crouching still for that rose. Her face, which had turned bright red from the crying her eyes out, was dirted with water and mud. It was truly a pitiful sight.
お前まだ探してたのか。
You idiot, are you still looking?
ああ、 見つからない。
I can't find it. My walls can't find it. Oh, woo. Maria had probably had been here since the rain had started pouring down. It looked like her shoulders were freezing. She looked tired to the bone, but fortunately she was still holding an umbrella which was completely soaked. It was probably an umbrella from the handbag that Maria had always walking around with. Thank goodness. Seriously, thank goodness.
バトラ君よかった見つけたんだね
Bala-kun, thank goodness you found her. Generally want to grab Maria and trap her in the bed sheet. Lewd. Maria, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Auntie Rosa threw her own umbrella away and hugged Maria. It's not here. My rose isn't here. Mama will look for it for you later. Okay? So just let it go for today. Okay? Let it go for today. It looked like Maria wasn't able to accept it, but she no longer had the energy left to resist. Maria's not a bad girl, but she requires to be contained. Yeah. Just getting Cannon caught up with us.
すぐにお屋敷でタオルの用意をさせましょう
I'll have a towel ready in the mansion immediately.
マリア
Maria,
ずっとここにいたのか
were you here the whole time?
ごめんね本当に悪いママでごめんね
I think the mother's the one who needs correction. I'm sorry for being such a bad mother.
ローザおばさんとりあえずお屋敷に行きましょう
Auntie Rosa, why don't we head back to the mansion for the time being?
このままじゃマリアちゃん風邪をひいちゃう
Maria-chan will catch a cold like this.
そうね
You're right.
マリア行きましょ
Maria, let's
う
go.
ちゃんときれいにしないとおじい様に怒られちゃうわよ
If you don't get you cleaned up, grandfather will get mad at you.
お
Ugh,
腹すいた
I'm hungry.
もう食事の時間だぜ
It's already time to eat.
マリアはよく頑張ったよ
You did a good job searching.
天気が良くなったら私たちも一緒に探してやるから
Once the weather gets better, we'll go search together. We couldn't stay in the rain forever. We took Maria with us, so we headed back to the mansion. Maria apparently wasn't as weak as I had thought. She was remembering the dinner was calf steak. She started chanting, I'm hungry, oh woo, and returned to her usual healthy self. Auntie Rosa didn't chide Maria on her ooh woo.
そっか
So that's it.
傘を持っていたのか
You had an umbrella.
さすがマリアは物持ちがいいぜ
Sure, good at packing the right stuff.
マリア傘なんか持ってない
Eh? I didn't bring an umbrella, ooh woo.
なんだよじゃあその手に持ってる白い傘はどうしたんだよ
What? Then how did you get that white umbrella you're holding? Ella,
貸してもらった
borrowed it. It seems that some caring person had brought her an umbrella. A normal girl would look for shelter once it started raining, but there was no way Maria's stubbornness would be broken by something like that. So maybe that person gave her recommending that she find shelter or at least brought an umbrella for her.
そう
Really?
その人にお礼を言わないとね
I'll have to thank him.
誰
Who was it?
ベアトリーチェ
It was Beatrice. You're right. Maria deserves all the best stuff because she is a very chaotic loli, as we will see later on. No spoilers. The name that Maria mentioned very happily was one that the island's witch. Rosa took a deep breath and asked again, trying to avoid hurting Maria's feelings now that she was happy.
そうよかったわね
Really? That's nice.
それで誰なの
So, who was it?
傘を持ってきてくれた人
The person who brought you that umbrella?
お
Oh.
ベアトリーチェ
Beatrice.
お
Wow. Maria, who quickly picked up that her mother didn't believe her, made an angry face once again. So Rosa started pursuing the subject. It looked like it would be faster to just ask the person who had lent Maria the umbrella during dinner rather than ask Maria herself.
お父さん
Oto-san, father,
せめて晩餐にだけは出席してください
please at least join us for dinner.
これでは親族会議になりません
It won't be a family conference like this. Please put down Azure Lane for 5 seconds, goddamn. Along with the dull pounding on the door, the sound of Krause's entirety could be heard. However, the voice seemed to harbor a sense of resignation, as its sound would not reach his intended ears.
金蔵さん
Kinzo-san, it's time to put down Azure Lane. You don't need that SSR booba lady.
せめて夕食くらいは出んかね
Won't you at least go out for dinner?
あんたの顔を見ようと息子さんたちが集まってきてるんじゃないか
Haven't all of your children gathered here to see your face?
黙れ南條
Silence, Nanjo.
ビショップが聞かぬか
So the bishop won't work.
言って足りぬ
One move short. Apparently, Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match at Nanjo. His brow wrinkled. He continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Krause's voice didn't reach his ears.
金蔵さん
Kinzo,
私も腹が減った
I'm also hungry. I want those chicken nuggies.
下に降りて食事をせんか
Won't you go down and eat?
ならばお前だけで行くといい
In that case, you can go by yourself.
私はもうしばらくこの一手を吟味させてもらうぞ
Let me consider this next move for a little longer.
今夜で決着をつけてやる
We are going to finish this tonight.
さもなくばお前との決着は金輪際つけられそうにないからな
Otherwise, it looks like this match will never in entirety be settled. Nanjo stood from his seat and hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same, but Kinzo's eyes never left the chessboard. He knew well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to his chess, but he had never seen Kinzo as focused as he was now. He was acting almost as though, just as he had said, if the game wasn't finished tonight, there would never be another chance for them to continue their contest. Further attempts to persistently call him would surely not reach his heart. Nanjo gave up and headed to the door that Krause's head was still banging on. It just hit me that this is new art. New art was fun though. Yeah, but the old art was so cringe. I like the PlayStation, I don't know, this was like for 3, I guess? PlayStation 3 renders. It's like, no. I would not be able to take this game seriously if it was with the old art. Krause took a step back. Surely Kinzo had actually come out. But it was Nanjo who stood to the door. Krause breathed a sigh of relief.
南條先生
Dr. Nanjo,
親父殿は
his father.
お役に立てなくて申し訳ございませんな
I'm sorry, I couldn't be of service.
今や金蔵さんの世界はこの部屋だけです
Kinzo's world is nothing but this room now. Nanjo shook his head with a completely defeated expression. Krause raised his fist once more and banged on the door, shouting,
お父さん聞こえますか
Father, can you hear me?
私たちは下へおりますが気が向かれたらいつでもおいでください
We are heading down now, but anytime you feel like it, please join us.
息子兄弟一同ずっとお待ちしておりますよ
All of your children are waiting for you. The voice was very loud and the door was being noisily pounded on. There was no way that it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. It was reaching him. However, he was ignoring it anyway. However, unlike the time he was being called down for lunch, he did not get into a rage. Kinzo was now simply calm at heart, and it was almost as though he had attained peace by turning himself over to fate.
晩餐にも息子たちの顔にも興味はない
I'm not interested in dinner, nor in my son's faces.
私がここを出るのはベアトリーチが蘇る時か私が鍵の生贄に選ばれた時だけだ
I will only leave here with when Beatrice is resurrected or when I am chosen as a sacrifice for the key.
もう悪魔のルーレットは回っている
The demon's roulette has already started spinning.
今さら晩餐に何の意味があろう
What meaning does dinner have at this point? As though this painfully loud bang in the door had completely failed to enter his hearing, Kinzo was in a state of total peace, thought about his next chess move. Just as always, Kinzo was the one missing from the dinner hall. Kraus, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo.
親父殿は相変わらずご気分が優れられないそうだ。
Just as always, father is not feeling well.
年に一度の親族が集まるこの機会に同席できないことを非常に残念がられておられた。
He truly regrets missing this once-a-year opportunity to sit together with his gathered relatives. Eva and Rudolph snickered. Judging by Kinzo's character, he didn't regret it at all. And none of his relatives regretted that he hadn't appeared either.
ではディナーを始めようじゃないか。
Now, why don't we start dinner?
ゴーダ、始めたまえ。
Goda, get it started.
かしこまりました。
This will truly be their last supper.
それでは始めさせていただきます。
Certainly, well then, ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin. Upon finally being told to begin the family conference dinner, his highlight scene for the whole year, Goda nodded and grinning broadly.
マリアに傘を貸してくれた人は誰かしら?
I was wondering who was it that lent Maria an umbrella? When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone there turned their attention to her at once.
傘?
Umbrella?
何の話?
What's this about?
さっきマリアがバラ庭園にいた時に雨が降り出して
It started raining while Maria was in the rose garden a short while back.
誰かに白い傘を借りたみたいなんだけどお礼が言いたくて
It seems she borrowed a white umbrella from someone, and I wanted to thank them.
俺たちじゃねえぜ。
It wasn't one of us.
ローザが出てった後は部屋を移してずっと仲良くおしゃべりをしてたからね。
Oh, I just realized since it's been a year since I've touched upon this game, my last VOD that I watched had my very old model. So I guess for anyone who is watching this in order, it would be very jarring to see such a jump between quality of VTube models. It wasn't one of us. After you went out, Rosa, we changed rooms and continued our friendly chatting the whole rest of the time.
そうやで。
Ah, that's right.
あの後も兄弟で仲良くおしゃべりをしとったのや。
Even after that, us siblings kept on with our friendly chat. The word friendly fell awkwardly with Hideyoshi's lips. So that even those that hadn't been there realized that it hadn't been a pleasant conversation.
少なくとも私とエヴァとルドルフとあと秀吉さんとキリエさんではないことも確かだがね。
At the very least, it certainly couldn't have been me, Eva, Rudolph, or even Hideyoshi or Kirie-san.
私たちは夏日姉さんとローザさんが出て行った後もずっと一緒だったわ。
We were together the whole time, even after Natashi, Ne-san, and Rosa-san left.
食事の時間までずっとね。
The whole time until meal started.
兄さんは源氏さんと一緒にお父様を呼びに上の書斎へ。私たちはそのまま食堂へ直行したもの。だから私たちではないわね。傘を貸すなんて親切、使用人の誰かじゃないの？
Nisa went up to the study with Genji-san to call father. At the time, the rest of us went straight to the dining hall, so it wasn't one of us. For a consideration like lending an umbrella, wouldn't it be one of the servants?
じゃあゴーダさん?
So, Goda-san?
私はずっと厨房で準備をしておりましたもので。
I have been in the kitchen the whole time preparing.
申し訳ございません。
My sincere apologies. Goda looked slightly disappointed about missing this chance to show off. So the time Shannon and Kumawa-sawa appeared pushing a servant's cart loading the hors d'oeuvres.
じゃあ熊沢さんかシャノンちゃんかしら?
Then perhaps it was Kumasawa-san or Shannon-chan.
はい?
I'm sorry?
何か粗相がございましたでしょうか?
Have I made some mistake? Shannon shrugged mistakenly, thinking she was being accused of making some error coming in with the partway.
違うよ。
No, you haven't.
マリアちゃんがバラ庭園に一人でいた時に雨が降ってきてね。
When Maria-san was all alone in the rose garden, it started to rain.
誰かが傘を貸してくれたんだよ。
Someone gave her an umbrella.
ローザおばさんがその人にお礼を言いたいっていうのさ。
Auntie Rosa said that she wanted to thank that person.
Oh.
Oh.
ベアトリーチェ
Beatrice. Maria, her mouth in thin lines, said the witch's name in a small voice. Auntie Rose explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled.
私たちでもございませんよ。
Oh, it wasn't us.
私もシャノンさんも一緒にお部屋の準備をしておりましたから、お外には出ておりません。
Oh, it wasn't us. Shannon-chan said I was preparing the rooms together, so we did not go outside.
はい。
Yes.
気が利かなくてすみません。
Yes, I apologize for not being able to help.
部屋の準備
Preparing the rooms?
とは何のことかね。
What do you mean by that?
この雨ですから客人の皆さんがゲストハウスにお帰りになられるのも大変かと思って。
They are starting the murder mystery early. Well, it feels nice that we got a lot of the exposition out of the way in our last few playthroughs of this game. Now we can finally get to the nitty-gritty. Because of this rain, I thought it would be difficult for all of us guests to return to the guest house.
使用人たちに屋敷内の客室の準備をするように命じたのです。
So ordered the servants to prepare the guest rooms inside the mansion.
あら、気が利くじゃない。
Really? How thoughtful.
そうね。この雨の中、表に追い出すのは失礼だものね。
That's right, it'd be rude to chase us outside in all the rain, wouldn't it?
もう予算か。
Could you give it a rest?
はい。
Yes.
奥様からそのようにご指示を受けまして、私と熊沢さんとカノン君の3人で準備をしておりました。
Yes, we received the order from Madam, and I and Kumasawa-san and Kanon-kun were preparing the rooms.
そしてご夕食の時間になり、源氏様からゲストハウスのお子様方をお呼びするようご指示をいただいたため、
Then it became the time for dinner, and since we had received an order from Genji-san to go to the guest house and call the children,
カノン君が言ってくれたのです。
Kanon-kun left on our behalf.
ええ。ですから、カノンさんがゲストハウスに行かれるときにマリアさんを見つけて傘をお渡ししたのではありませんか？
Yes, in that case, did Kanon-san find Maria on the way to the guest house and hand her the umbrella?
ほー、違う。
That's not it! The person who actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who had lent the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. And she had thought that asking like this would, with everyone gathered for dinner, would work immediately.
じゃあ夏日姉さん
Then Natsuhine-san?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
私は皆さんとの仲良くの語らいの後、頭痛がひどかったので自分の部屋で休んでいました。
After my quote-unquote friendly conversation with everyone, my headache was so bad I had been resting in my room.
ですから表へは出ていません。
And therefore I did not go outside.
なら誰なの？
Then who?
ジョージ君たち？
George-kun and the kids?
なわけないわよね。
That can't be right.
いえ、僕たちじゃありません。
Nope, it wasn't us.
僕たちはずっとゲストハウスでテレビを見てました。
We were watching television in the guest house the whole time.
むしろ私たちはマリアはおばさんと一緒に屋敷に行ったとばかり。
Actually, we thought Maria had just gone back to the mansion with you.
そこへカノン君が来て、マリアは一緒じゃないのかと聞いたんで、初めて屋敷にはいないのかって分かったんだよ。第一俺だったら傘を貸すより先に手引っ張って屋根の下に連れて行くぜ。
Then Kanekun came and he asked whether Maria was with us. That was when we first realized that she wasn't in the mansion in the first place. If it were me, before lending her an umbrella, I would have grabbed her hand and pulled her under a roof. Rosa was completely baffled. One by one, the relatives and the servants were claiming it wasn't them. Even though it really wasn't something anyone would need to hide. With that, by process of elimination, the number of people it could have been wasn't large.
もちろん私でもありませんな。
Of course, it wasn't me.
雨が降り始めてすぐの頃、金蔵さんの
One
部屋を
memento, I'm
訪ね
going for
つい
food.
さっきま
Okay.
で一緒にチェスをしておりました。
Take your time, Lanka. Of course, it wasn't me. Right after it began raining, I visited Kinzo's room, and have been playing chess with him just until now.
ということはおじい様でもないよね。
Which means it also wasn't grandfather.
なんだなんだ
Wait a sec.
妙な話になってきたぜ。
This is starting to get a bit weird.
あと残るのは誰だ
Who's left?
じゃあ誰？
Then who?
源氏さん？
Genji-san?
ちょっと待って。勘違いしないでくれる？
Wait a second. Don't get me wrong.
別に私は何かの犯人探しをしてるんじゃないのよ。
It's not like I'm searching for some culprit or anything.
雨の中のマリアに傘を差し伸べてくれた人に母としてお礼が言いたいだけなの。
All I want to do as a mother is thank the person who gave Maddie an umbrella in the middle of the rain. Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. Despite that, no one raised her hand. Why? For everyone started whispering at how strange it has gotten.
落ち着けよローザ。
Calm down, Rosa.
傘を借りた本人に聞けばいいじゃねえか。
Why don't we just ask the person who borrowed the umbrella? The idea that everyone would agree makes sense. Then we all scratching their heads as to why she hadn't asked Maria, who has been given the umbrella. However, Rosa bit her lower lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer if asked.
どうりや。
Of course.
ルドルフ君の言う通りやないか。
Rudolph-kun's got it right.
マリアちゃん、おじさんに教えてな。
Maria-chan, tell your uncle.
マリアちゃんに傘を貸してくれたのは誰や。
Who lent you the umbrella? Beatrice! Lieutenant held her wrapped in silence for an instant, but that soon broke and it was wrapped in laughter.
なるほど。森の魔女ベアトリーチェが不憫に思って傘を貸してくれたか。
Huh, I see. Beatrice, the witch of the forest, felt pity and lent her an umbrella.
いい話じゃないか。
What a nice story.
ローザ、そういうことだ。
Rosa, there you go. Rosa didn't seem satisfied. She just wanted to say thanks for the umbrella. But why did everything have to be so clouded in smoke? Just like Uncle Kraus said. Beatrice lent it to me.
それはよかった。
Isn't that wonderful?
無垢だというのは実に羨ましいことではないか。
Oh, innocence, such an inevitable thing.
なあ、諸君。
Don't you all agree? Kraus was laughing with a face as clearly mocking her. But Maria, apparently feeling that her claim was being believed, was overjoyed.
一体どうなってんの？
What's going on?
まさか本当に魔女が現れて傘を貸したってのかよ。
Don't tell me a witch really appeared and lent her an umbrella. Jessica asked me in a small voice so it wouldn't carry over to Maria, who was sitting across from me.
マリアって冗談が言えるタイプだっけ
Has Maria ever been the type to joke? If we had heard this kind of story pop out of the old bastard's mouth, we'd have just taken it as another joke. However, coming from Maria's mouth, it became somewhat inexplicable, strangely unsettling.
いや、
No way.
昔から愚直なぐらい正直で真面目だよ。
She always been frank and serious.
普通なら聞いただけで嘘とわかるような冗談すら鵜呑みにするタイプだぜ。
Has she always just swallowed up jokes that were supposed to be obvious lies?
マリアから冗談を言い出すなんて聞いたこともない。
I never heard her cackling a joke. Auntie Rosa probably knew that better than anyone. It appeared that because of the weird situation, he had no idea what was going on anymore.
じゃあマリアがベアトリーチェに傘を借りたと言ったなら
Okay,
それは
welcome
間
back,
違いなくベア
Lanka.
トリーチェなのか
So Maria says that she borrowed an umbrella from Beatrice and then definitely was Beatrice.
マリアに関してだけは何かの比喩とか冗談とかそういうことは考えられねえぜ。
Well, you're not wrong, Lanka. I mean, Battler did have perverted jokes towards her big boobas, and honestly, I don't blame him. We're talking about Maria here, so I can't imagine it was some kind of metaphor or joke.
額面通りの意味だと思うべきだろうよ。
But you best to take what she says as face value.
じゃあなんだよ
Then what's going on?
源氏さんあたりがあの肖像画のごついドレスを着てマリアに傘を持って行ってやったっていうのか
Are you saying that Genji-san or someone put on that fancy dress from the portrait and gave Maria the umbrella?
そんなことは知らねえぜ。
I have no idea.
私が聞きたいくらいさ。
Actually, that's what I want to know. Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression wasn't completely joking. Once the hors d'oeuvres was set and the Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple casual chats broke out in there, and they seemed, however, distant. It was a quiet dinner, granting no respite or intrusive sound of rain that was creeping into the dining hall. Kumasawa-san and Shannon pushing the serving cart ran to Genji and Kana on their way to the kitchen.
ケンジさんですか？マリア様に傘を貸されたのは。
Genji-san, were you the one who lent Maria-san an umbrella?
傘
Umbrella?
何のことだ
What are you talking about?
はい。
Right.
雨が降り出した時に、マリア様は一人でバラ庭園におられたそうで。
I heard that when it started raining, Maria-sama was alone in the rose garden.
そこで、どなたかに傘をお借りになったそうなのですが。
And it seemed that she borrowed an umbrella from someone there.
それがどなたかわからないのです。
But we don't know who it was.
僕じゃないよ。
It wasn't me.
マリア様はゲストハウスにいると思ってたくらいだからね。
After all, I thought that Maria-san was in the guest house.
バトラ様が最初に見つけられた時にはもう白い傘をお持ちだった。
When Butler-sama first found her, she was already holding a white umbrella.
申し訳ないがそれは私でもない
My apologies, but it was not me either.
じゃあ、まさか親方様でしょうか。
Then who do you think it was? The master, probably? Or possibly? Everyone in both the dining hall and the place where we were standing now had stated that it wasn't them. Which meant that only Kinza was left, but...
何かのご用で廊下を歩かれている時、偶然バラ庭園に傘もささないマリア様が見えたとか。
Maybe when walking down the corridor for some reason, when by coincidence he saw Maria-sama in the rose garden without even an umbrella.
親方様はマリア様のことをあまりお好きではない
The master does not particularly like Maria-sama.
同感だね。
I agree.
親方様がマリア様のために直々に開花までお越しになって傘をお持ちくださるとは考えられないよ。
I can't imagine that just from Maria-sama he would trouble himself to go all the way downstairs to carry an umbrella to her directly.
あら、困りましたわね。
Oh my, how troublesome.
では、マリア様に傘をお貸しになられたのは本当にベアトリーチェ様ってことに？
So that means that the only one who lent Maria-sama an umbrella really was Beatrice-sama. Kumasawa laughed, just like the relatives and Daniel all laughed it off. She couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veiling the current situation. Just then the crisp sound of the hands clapping twice rang through the hallway. Oh, thank you, Klonoa King for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I think my VTuber is too tall. Lower it down. There we go. Also, I felt like that was timed well with the alert. We all turned around at once to see that it was Gota who was coming out of the dining hall.
さあさあ皆さん、
Chop chop, everyone.
ディナーは配膳のタイミングも大事です。
When serving dinner, it's essential to make sure that dishes are served with proper timing.
すぐにスープの配膳に取り掛かってください。
Please immediately to see to setting out the soup.
源氏さん、彼女らは大切なお仕事中ですので、お引き止めになられないでください。
Genji-san, the women are in the middle of an important job, so please don't get in their way. Speaking of soup, I can't wait for it to get even colder now, so I can definitely dig into soup season and udon ramen season. Now it's slowly actually getting cold. And sadly, when I went to Disney not too long ago, it was still a little warm, but not extremely hot. It was just warm. It was still enough for me to actually navigate through the park in broad daylight, even though I was sweating a bit. But still, it was fun. I even got to see the Pino-chan and his Oto-san. Canon glared at Goda for being rude to Genji, a person Canon respected. Genji realized this, patted Kana once on the shoulder as if to warn him. Kana reluctantly turned away and returned his expression to normal. I don't really use Twitch, just dropping it to follow cause you're cool and such. Aw, thank you, Klonoa Kane, much appreciated. It's okay, I do post VODs on YouTube if that's more your thing. Obey Goda's orders. Do you guys want to hear my Disneyland story? I have quite a tale to tell of my escapades at the mouse's house. Because there's quite a things I saw. I saw there was like a camera group and they were, you know, filming something. I don't know what they were filming. I think I was caught in the shot though, because they were filming directly towards the castle. And there's people gathering there and I was like, I wonder if they see me. I don't know what they were filming for. It didn't look like anything obvious. Might have been something on TV. But, you know, if you just happen to watch something that's filmed in Disneyland, you would probably see me. Because I had Pinocchio Minnie Mouse ears. So yeah. Oh, Clown King said, I do watch VODs when I go to sleep. I'm not much of a stream person otherwise. That's fair, that's fair. Yes, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, but also I did find Pinocchio, but it took quite a while for me to actually get a hold of him. I totally did not stalk him throughout Fantasyland hoping I would find him, but I was like on my way to go on Alice's ride and then I saw him pass by the line. I was like, shit, I can't cross the line. I'm already too far in. And I was like, I'll find him when I finish the ride because he was posing literally next door. And when I finished, he just vanished and I was like, shit, I had to like make my rounds trying to go find him. But I figured maybe he just took a break because that's something mascot characters do. Oh, thank you, Adonis, for the 10 bits. Thank you. But yeah, eventually, after a while, I managed to find him. Coincidentally, I was headed towards his own ride. And he was like, hey, I'm just gonna be stopping by here again. And I was like, I'm not putting down this opportunity because I need my puppet in my life. I need to see my boy wife. And I did. And it was worth it. Even though I was kind of sweating under the heat, it was still worth it. Oh, come on, we have no time. Don't dawdle around. Anyway, that's my story. I did post the pictures on my Twitter if you want to take a look at them. But yeah, I got to actually be very close and personal with him. Totally didn't do anything lewd. I just wanted a photo and a hug. And I got exactly that and I was very happy. That's literally all I needed. Go to grab the serving cart from Shannon and drove it past her, heading towards the kitchen at pace.
では、私どもも厨房に戻らせていただきます。
And please allow us to return to the kitchen.
ゴーダさんも気の短い方ですからね。
After all, Goda-san's patience is very short.
私もこれで失礼いたします。
Please excuse me as well. I'm just happy that Pinocchio has been thriving more in the theme parks as of late. Because even though I try to go to the parks every year, it's only not until recently, maybe a few years, maybe around 2019, is when I started seeing him more. Because beforehand, he wasn't present at all. He was a very rare character, only show up at certain events, but now he seems to be a regular, which is good. He should remain relevant. Kumasawa-san and Shannon left. Only Genji and Kanon remained. Though the wind of the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt.
Genji-sama.
Well, yeah, now it's the year of Pinocchio again, thanks to Liza P. Which I am planning to do a stream about Liza P, but mostly just watching a lot of lore videos, because I don't think I'd be able to handle playing it by myself. I'm just going to be raging throughout the entire time. I think playing the demo was enough, at least. That means Miss keeps winning. Yes, I win. Next time I'll bring a giant luggage and I can definitely stuff him in when no one's looking. He did attract the crowd, and that made me a little happy. But at the same time, I just wanted him more to myself. But enough of that. Genji-sama, has Beatrice-sama really returned? I don't know. Should we inform the master? There is no need. If she had truly returned, she would eventually appear before the master of his own accord. Furthermore, she is a fickle person. It would be pointless to report to the master only to find that she does not appear. I wonder if this means that the master's ritual has already begun. Probably. However, this has nothing to do with furniture like us. We must return to the favor that we received from the master until our final moments. Yes. As furniture, that is our duty. Thunder crashed once more. Except for in that instance when the lightning lit up the sky, all that could be seen out from the window was the darkness of night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, the time when the sun is down is ruled by those who are not human. Darkness of the night are now surround the Rokenjima, was ruled not by the Shiramiya family but by another master. Did this master take pity on Maria when she was alone and pummeled by the rain in the rose garden and lend her an umbrella? Kana looked at the rose garden's lights dimly visible beyond the window. The dim lights were not enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making an eye contact with the witch and Kana forcibly averting his gaze. If he didn't felt like his eyes would be absorbed by the light. Perhaps the weather was also a factor. You often hear stories about how things like atmospheric pressure can influence people's moods and physical health. For some time now, everyone had been making periodic attempts to clear the gloomy atmosphere. But any conversation was quickly cut off, and in the end of the dining hall was simply buried by the sound of the rain. Dessert was some kind of chocolate cake accompanied by pear sherbet. Goda-san enthusiastically explained the recipe as if delivering the coup de grace but I quickly forgot the details. The guest of honor grandfather was absent, the weather was horrible, and the person who led Maria the umbrella was still a mystery. When dinner ended, no one felt even one bit refreshed. It was too late now, but I realized painfully that taste wasn't the only important part of a meal. The whole atmosphere was also critical. Goda-san, the supposed conductor of the performance, had called dinner in his best to enliven the place, dropping little jokes left and right, but it seemed they didn't quite get there. After asking orders from after dinner, coffee, tea, and orange juice, they left for the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Kraus spoke. My. How truly irksome that this dinner which Goda had worked so hard to create was been so poorly received. Oh, thank you, Adonis, again for the 1 bit. Yeah, seriously. She was really close to kidnapping Pinocchio at the park. He was very lucky that she didn't feel participantly frisky that day. Must have been the heat. The heat had nerfed me just a bit. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, seriously, it feels like nothing would taste good today. It's just that kind of mood.
ほう。どうしてそういう気分なのか聞きたいね。
I would love to hear why you feel that way.
心が晴れ晴れできるよう、兄として後で協力させてもらうよ。
Sometime later, allow me as your older brother to help you cheer up. Auntie Eva grimaced slightly. I had already heard that she was not on good terms with Uncle Kraus, but now I could clearly feel it. When I looked around, I noticed that my dad and Auntie Rosa were also grimacing. Anywho, it looked like there was something besides the weather that was troubling all of them.
エヴァおばさんもうちの親父もずいぶん機嫌が悪そうっすね。
Auntie Eva and my dad, they both looked like they were in a bad mood.
そう
Really?
私はそうは思いませんよ。
I don't think so. I asked Auntie Natsuhi, who was sitting on the right, but it looked like she was also in a bad mood. She snapped back as though she was absolutely not interested.
まあちょいと大人な話で込み入ってな。
Well, our adult conversation got a little
バ
complicated.
トラ君たち子供は気にせんでええ話や。
It's not something kids like you need to worry about, Butler-kun.
なあ夏井さん。
Right,
キリエさん。
Right, Natsui-san, Kirie-san. Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, but without his usual brightness, so I could vaguely imagine just how complicated their adult conversation had actually become. Top of that, even not seeing Kirie-san, the people who had directed his comment to ignore him as though they hadn't had or actually... Yeah. I don't know what kind of conversation they had been having while we kids were away, but it reminded me how Dad had said he had stomach cramps when he had arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have been a playful reunion to us kids, but it was definitely different for the adults. After Uncle Hideyoshi was ignored by the other adults, an awkward silence fell over the room. Kirie-san spoke up.
子供たちの進路はどうなるのかしらとか、そういう話よ。
We talk about how the kids' careers would turn out.
バトラ君は将来はどうするの？
What will you do in the future, Butler-kun?
ぼんやりと大学進学？
Just drift on to college?
そんなのじゃ長い人生レースのスタートラインとしては心細いわよ。
Wouldn't that be a little disheartening as a starting line for the long race of life?
あいたたたたたた。
Hey, wait a second.
キリエさん、飯の最中にそんな話されちまったら消化不良で便秘になっちまうぜ。
Hey, wait a second, Kirie-san. If you start talking about something like that in the middle of a meal, it wouldn't digest well, and we all get constipated, right?
そうやそうや。バトラ君やジェシカちゃんの進路の話をしとったんや。
Ah, that's right, that's right. We were talking about the Kun and Jessica-san's careers.
将来のことは真剣に考えんとあかんで。
You could take the future too seriously. Hideyoshi hardly agreed as if they really were talking about that, but they probably hadn't. Kirie-san had obviously been trying to avoid talking about something. However, if Kirie-san had determined that this was the best course of action for now, then she would probably be right. Taking this into account, I decided to cast aside my suspicion as to the cause behind Auntie Eva and Dad's bad moods. Long last, the serving car returned, filled with coffee and tea. Kumasawa-san and Shannon-chan served it to everyone. Kumasawa-san and Shannon, Goda-san then explained that with this, tonight's dinner was over. If I had been eating one more cheerful mood, it might have been the best dinner of my life. It was a shame that the greatest of dinners couldn't have been had under the greatest conditions. Jojo Ni-chan, is dinner over now? Over? Yes.
これでおしまいだよ。
We're all done now.
はしてないわよ。
It's not ladylike.
お席について落ち着いてジュースを飲みなさい。
So I was having a little snack. I wanted to mute it. It's not ladylike. Stay in your seat and calmly drink up. Maria looked like she was really excited about the occasional crashing thunder. Maybe she wanted to quickly finish eating and run over to the window. She had been fidgeting for a while, waiting for the meal to end. Some people are afraid of thunder while others find it interesting, and Maria was apparently one of the latter. So when she heard from Georgianiki that dinner was over, a huge smile broke across her face. And she stood from her seat and took out her handbag, which had set under her seat, never having left it even while she was eating, and began fishing around inside of it. No one seemed particularly concerned with this behavior.
なんだいそれは
What's that?
どこから持ってきたの
Where do you get it? Georgianiki was first to notice it, but as he spoke, Battler also noticed. It's a letter. Ugh. When he looked, they noticed that Maria was holding a beautiful Western-style envelope. The front of the envelope, the Shiromiya family crest, a one-winged eagle, was done in gold leaf. Furthermore, it was sealed with a dark red wax, imbuing a level of class upon it that has made it clear that this was not something that Maria should be carrying around for fun.
Maria-chan, それは何?
Maria-chan, what the hell is that? It seemed that Natsu had noticed the strangeness of the envelope that Maria was holding. Because her voice sounded too serious, it admonishingly a small child the other relatives around her finally noticed.
どうしたよ、夏姫さん。
What's up, Natsuhine-san?
それ
What is...
何?
What is that?
マリア、あなたそれをどこで拾ったの?
Maria, where did you pick that up?
その封筒は金蔵さんの
That envelope has Kinzo-san's. Nanjo-san muttered that even us kids could understand why everyone seemed to be frozen solid. The envelope that Maria held as one of the Yoshirimiya family had cousins-made envelopes on private use. In other words, it could only mean one thing. This envelope contained a message from Kinzo.
どうしてそんな封筒がここにあるんだね
What is an envelope like that doing here?
こいつは面白いもんが飛び出してくるぜ。
Didn't look like something interesting has jumped out at us.
ちょいと足に見せてみ
Just let me have a peek.
ダメマリアが読むの
No, I'm reading it.
マリアがみんなに読んで聞かせなさいって言われたの
I was told to read it to everyone. Uncle Hideyoshi tried to snatch the envelope out of me in his hand, but she protected us, though trying to hug it and didn't let go.
秀吉兄さん、子供相手に力ずくなんていけませんよ。
Hideyoshi-san, you shouldn't take something from a child by brute force.
マリアちゃん、その封筒はどうしたの?
Maria-chan, where did you get that envelope?
傘を貸してくれた時にベアトリーチェにもらった
Got it from Beatrice when she gave me the
ご
umbrella.
飯が終わったらマリアがみんなに読んで聞かせろって言われた
She told me to read to everyone after the meal was over. Wow.
マリアは魔女のメッセンジャーなの
I'm the witch's messenger.
メッセンジャーこの島の魔女様は随分と洒落てるじゃねえかよ
Witch Island sure likes to mess around. Battler tried to joke about it, but no one went along with him.
それで中には何て書いてあるのかしら? マリアちゃん?
I wonder what's written inside of it, Maria-chan. Reading! Maria casually opened the envelope. It was sealed only with wax, so she had to remove it to seal the wax to open it. She almost fell off the desk. Hideyoshi hastily picked up and started fixedly at it. He then sat on the center of the table where Natsuhikire and Nanjo glared at it. Imprinted there was the sealing wax with the one-winged eagle, which was the Yoshirimiya family crest and also Kinzo-san's personal crest.
これは当主様の紋章?
This is the family's personal head crest.
私は金蔵さんに手紙をもらったことがあるからわかる
I know because I have received letters from Kinzo-san before.
これは間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ
Without a doubt, this is Kinzo-san's wax seal.
でもこのお屋敷には それと同じ紋章がいくつもあるのでは？
But in this mansion, couldn't there be several identical seals?
例えば風呂用のハンコのようなものがあれば、金蔵さんでなくても風呂はできるのでは？
For example, if there was some kind of stamp for wax seals, couldn't someone other than Kinzo-san have sealed it?
いや、金蔵さんは風浪には必ず自分が指にしている後ろ宮家当主の証の指輪で刻印をする。
No, Kinzo-san would have always used a ring on his finger, his proof of Yoshinomiya family headship, when he sealed the
この
wax.
形や複雑な衣装は間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ。
The shape, the complex design, is definitely Kinzo-san's seal.
そうとは限らんよ。
It's not necessarily so.
親族であれば一度くらいは親父の手紙を受け取ったことはあるはずだ。
Anyone in the family must have received a letter from Dad at least once.
その風浪をもとに偽の紋章を作り、親父殿を語って刻印した可能性が否めない。
We can't eliminate the possibility that someone using that wax as a model created a fake seal to pass themselves off as father.
兄貴に同感だ。
I agree with Aniki.
風浪に刻印されている紋章がどれだけ親父のものに酷似していたとしても、
No matter how
間違いなく親父のものであるとは証明不能だぜ。
No matter how the seal resembles Dad's, we can't prove it that is the real thing.
だからその封筒が親父のものであるという証拠にはならない。
Therefore, it doesn't prove that this envelope came from Dad.
私も全く同じよ。
I feel the same way. I have faint memories of Umineko family calling Rudolph a daddy. Might be wrong though. I mean, I guess I can understand that where you're coming from with that.
風浪の刻印だけでお父様の手紙だなんて決めつけることには同意できないわ。
Feel the same way. I can't approve of obituary deciding that this is father's letter only by the seal and the wax.
南條先生、曖昧な言葉は慎んでいただけるかしら。
Dr. Nanjo, would you mind refraining from speaking such vague words?
これは失礼。
I apologize.
出過ぎた口でした。
I said too much. One after another, all the siblings from Kraus on downwards rejected Nanjo's statement, saying that the envelope that Maria was holding had not been necessarily been sent by Kinzo. They were afraid. Kinzo's intentions were written in there. And they feared from the bottom of their hearts that it might be some decidedly unfavorable announcement regarding the inheritance.
マリア、その封筒は傘を貸してくれた人がくれたのね。
Maria, the person who gave you that envelope was the same person who lent you that umbrella, right?
ふうじゃわからないでしょ。
I don't know what it means.
そうなの？
Is it true? Yes.
つまり
So in other words,
魔女ベアトリーチェが傘と一緒にマリアちゃんにその封筒を。
the witch Beatrice give you that envelope along with the umbrella. Yeah. Maria nodded forcefully.
主人に私も同感です。
I agree with my husband.
得体の知れない何者かが手渡した怪文書です。
It's a dubious letter that handed over by some suspicious person.
読むにも値しません。
It's not even worth reading.
せめて読むくらいいいじゃねえかよ。
Oh, go on. What's the worst that can happen, right? Balder said to Jessica in a small voice, pretending to stir things up, but Natsuhi clearly glared at him with threatening eyes.
それでマリアはそのベアトリーチェに食事が終わったら読めって言われたんだな。
Then Beatrice told you to read it after a meal was over, right?
いいじゃないの皆さん。
Why not everyone?
これはおじい様の封筒ではなく、ベアトリーチェの封筒。
This isn't grandfather's envelope, it's Beatrice's.
誰が書いたのかはともかく、中身を聞いてからの判断でもいいんじゃないかしら。
Who cares who wrote it? Why can't we just hear what's inside before passing judgment?
そうやな。
That's right.
お父さんが書いたとは限らんが、 中身が気になるんは事実や。
Even if father didn't necessarily write, I'm still concerned about its contents.
マリアちゃん、さっきは無理やり取ろうとしてすまんかった。
Maria-chan, I'm sorry I tried to take it from you by force.
謝るからみんなの前でそれ読み上げてくれんか。
I apologize, so will you read it aloud in front of everyone?
マリア、読みなさい。
Maria, read it. As all the relatives stare fiercely at Maria, she's spread the letter open with a rustle.
本当に親父の手紙だと思うか。
Do you really think it is that letter?
ありえんね。
Impossible.
親父殿が私たちに何かを発表するときは直接でなければいつだって源氏さんを通してじゃないか。
Whatever father's announced something to us in the past, if he didn't do it directly, he would have sent Genji-san, right?
このようなこじゃれた方法でするとは思えんね。
I can't believe that would be such a joke-like approach.
そうよ。
That's right.
マリアをメッセンジャーに
Maria Messenger.
それこそお父様の趣味じゃないわよ。
That's seriously not a style.
ローザ、これはマリアちゃんが私たちを脅かそうという何かの隠し芸なんでしょ？
Well said, this must be Maria-chan trying to surprise her with some kind of hidden talent, right?
マリアはそんな気の利いたことができる子じゃないわ。
Maria-chan's not a kid capable of something so clever. Oh, finally we get our chance to read it. Words came out of Maria's mouth for some reason. It felt like her voice was different than usual. Everyone suddenly went silent.
六軒島へようこそ、後ろ宮家の皆様方。
Welcome to Rokkenjima, ladies and gentlemen of the Yoshiromiya family.
私は金蔵様にお仕えしております当家顧問錬金術師のベアトリーチェと申します。
I am Beatrice, this family's consulting alchemist under the employ of Kinso-sama.
そんなアホな。
How absurd!
黙って。
Quiet!
長年にわたりご契約に従いお仕えしてまいりましたが、本日金蔵様よりその契約の終了を宣告されました。よって本日をもちまして当家顧問錬金術師のお役目を終了させていただきますことをどうかご了承くださいませ。
I asserted for many years in accordance to our contract, but today, Kinzo-sama has announced the termination of that contract. Therefore, I ask that you acknowledge my resignation from the position of family's consulting alchemist as of today.
くだらん。ざれ言だ。
How foolish! What nonsense!
聞くに耐えません。
I can't stand to listen to it.
さてここで皆様に契約の一部をご説明しなければなりません。
And now there is one part of the contract I must explain to you all.
私ベアトリーチェは金蔵様にある条件とともに莫大な黄金の貸与をいたしました。その条件とは契約終了時に黄金のすべてを返還すること、そして利息として後ろ宮家のすべてを頂戴できるというものです。
Now there is one part of the contract that I must explain to you all. I, Beatrice lend Kizo-sama a vast quantity of gold under the certain terms. One of these terms specifies that all the gold is to be returned to me upon the termination of the contract. Furthermore, I am to receive everything from the Yoshiromiya family as interest. Said all wizard. Welcome, welcome.
むちゃくちゃや。
How ridiculous!
初めっからむちゃくちゃだぜ。
It's been ridiculous from the very beginning.
要するにあれだろ？
So it's basically one of those things, right?
よくある悪魔の契約みたいなやつなんだろ？
Just like one of those contracts with the devil you always hear
ほ
about.
んで契約がおしまいってことになるから利子を回収に来たってわけだ。
And the contract has expired, so she's come to collect the interest.
いいんや？長年の退職金のつもりかな。
Is she trying to grab some retirement money for her old age or something?
ちゃっかりした魔女だぜ。
What a cheeky witch.
バトラ君、今は茶化さない方がいい。
Balder, now is not the time to be joking around. Balder made a face as if to ask if I could make fun of this. What can I make fun of? At the same time, some of the adults' faces were pale while the others looked completely shocked.
これだけをお聞きならば、皆様は金蔵様のことをなんと無慈悲なのかとお嘆きにもなられるでしょう。しかし金蔵様は皆様に富と名誉を残す機会を設けるため、特別な条項を追加されました。その条項が満たされた時に限り、私は黄金と利子を回収する権利を永遠に失います。
After hearing this, you may feel as though Kinzo-sama has been savagely ruthless. However, Kinzo-sama did append a special clause to the contract so that you would have a chance to preserve your wealth and honor. If only if that special clause is fulfilled, I will lose my rights to the gold and interest for all eternity. Special clause.
それは何よ?
What is it?
特別条項。
Special clause.
契約終了時にベアトリーチェは黄金と利子を回収する権利を持つ。ただし、隠された契約の黄金を暴いた者が現れた時、ベアトリーチェはこの権利をすべて永遠に放棄しなければならない。
Beatrice has the right to collect the gold and accumulate interest upon the termination of the contract. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, Beatrice must abandon these rights of all time.
利子の回収はこれより行いますが、もし皆様のうちの誰か一人でも特別条項を満たせたなら、すでに回収した分も含めて全てお返しいたします。なお、回収の手始めとしてすでに後宮本家の家督を受け継いだことを示す後宮家当主の指輪をお預かりさせていただきました。封印のろうそくにてそれをどうかご確認くださいませ。
The collection of the interest will proceed shortly, but if any of you fulfill the terms of this special clause, I shall return everything, including the portion that had already been collected. Furthermore, as the first step of the collection of the Kinzo-sama's debt, I have taken possession of the Yoshidamiya family's head ring, which signifies the passage of the Yoshidamiya family headship from one individual to another. I ask that you confirm this for yourselves by examining the imprint of the wax seal. You want me to accept this as real? That Dad would replenish this ring is unthinkable. Kraus has started from staring at the wax seal as though he was trying to burn a hole through it. Eva and Rudolph were doing the same over his shoulder. I did have that odd feeling that something was messing around Kinzo-san's finger when we were playing chess. Dr. Nanjo! Don't say something so careless just because of a vague memory. We can't prove this authenticity here. The question of whether Oh, I missed that dialogue. Oh well. That's right. It's just as Kira-san says. Well, now I wonder. Will Kinzo-san answer you? Well, now I wonder, will Kinzo-san answer you? After all, that person's thoughts are sometimes impossible to predict using common sense. In an event, this does not leave the realm of nonsense. In the first place, the fiction of the gold is just a deception by father. If you want to talk about non-existent gold, leave me out of it. But you heard what the witch is saying, right? But how the headships of all the assets would be handed over to one who finds the gold. So could this mean that Beatrice-sama is Father's legal advisor, or maybe in charge of his funds? We can't possibly trust this kind of stranger person who just entrusted with a suspicious paper to a child.
兄貴、腹を割ってもらうぜ。
Aniki, time for you to open up.
兄貴の知らない人物が親父の財産管理をしているようなことはあり得るのか?
Is it possible that someone you don't know is actually handling Dad's assets?
いや、それはない。
No, that's impossible.
私は当主代行として親父殿のすべての財産を把握している。
As the agent to the head, I have total knowledge of all father's assets.
私に知られずにそれらを自由にできる人間はいないはずだ。
There shouldn't be anyone who can manipulate them without me knowing it.
じゃあつまりクラウス兄さんの把握していない財産ってことじゃないの?
Then there must have been some assets that you do not have full knowledge of. Must have been there, Krusty-san.
バカな。そんなものあるわけがない。
Absurd, there's no such thing.
あるわよ。
Oh yes, there is.
兄さんが把握していないお父様の資産。
One asset of father's that you know nothing about.
そんなものあるわけがありません。
There's no way that something like that exists.
いや、あるで。
No, it does.
それがお父さんの、いや、ベアトリーチェの隠し黄金や。
That be father's. No, Beatrice's hidden gold.
話を整頓しよう。
Let's put things in order.
つまり親父には兄貴も知らない腹心がいた。そしてそいつはずっと黄金の番と運用を任されてきたわけだ。あるいは悪魔の契約まがいのルールで融資した神塚の大富豪か。
Let's put things in order in short. Dad has some entrusted and confidant that not even Aniki knows about. Furthermore, this person has always been in charge of watching and managing the gold. It's possible that this person is a Delante of a very rich family who provided his financing in the first place through a Maka Devil's contract.
その腹心のベアトリーチェさんは自分の黄金を融資する相手として息子兄弟の誰がふさわしいか試したいということなのかしら。
Could it be that this confidant is Beatrice-san, is trying to test which of the sons and daughters is more fitting to be financed by her gold? What Kiri-san said was something that all the siblings wanted clarified. But reflecting that, realized that during the time Kinzo-san's strange epitaph had been displayed in the hall beneath the portrait of the witch, they had always whispered that one who solved the puzzle would receive everything, yet no one had clearly stated it. It was just something that everyone had hoped might be true. That had right there, right now, had been clearly expressed by Beatrice's letter. Clearly specified that everything in the Yoshida family had been given to the one who found the gold.
黄金の隠し場所についてはすでに金蔵様が私の肖像画の下に碑文にて公示されております。
Kizo-sama had already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under the portrait.
条件は碑文を読むことができる者すべてに公平に。
The rules apply equally to all who read the epitaph.
黄金を暴けたなら私はすべてをお返しするでしょう。
If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you.
それではどうか今宵を金蔵様との知恵比べにて存分にお楽しみくださいませ。
Tonight I must ask you to enjoy your battle of wits with Kinzo-samas to the fullest.
今宵が知的かつ優雅な夜になるよう心よりお祈りいたしております。黄金のベアトリーチェ。
I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden.
お父さん、聞こえているはずです。
Father, I know you can hear me.
返事をしてください。
Please respond. Dora Kinzo's study has been violently beating against over and over like a percussion instrument. The screams coming from the other side were Klaus Rudolph's and sometimes Eva's voices. It was the siblings who were trying to intrude upon Kinzo's study to question him about the truth behind the mysterious letter. Kinzo was eating. An elegant tablecloth was set over the desk, and the fabulous dinner that had colored the table down to the dining hall was once again laid out. Kinzo continued his meal in silence. Shannon, taking away an empty plate, looked uncomfortable between the doors being beaten on in Kinzo's face.
皆さんがお呼びですが、いかがいたしますか?
Everyone's calling for you, but what would you like me to do?
捨ておけ。
Leave it.
神と我が晩餐は沈黙を尊ぶ。
God values silence, and so do I during dinner.
黙らせますか。
Should I silence them?
必要ない。
Heh, there's no need.
我が耳には届いておらぬ。
It does not even reach my ears. Hinzo coolly tasted his food. Genji quietly lowered his head and took a single step back. As he did, Kanon, who stood in reserve like a shadow behind to all the sides of the Genji, opened the mouth.
マリア様がベアトリーチェ様より手紙を受け取られたとのことで、その真偽を確かめたいのでしょう。
Maria-sama seemed to have received a letter from Beatrice-sama, so I assumed that they want to verify its authenticity.
あやつめ、早速始めおったか。
That daredevil, she is started already.
さあ、ベアトリーチェ。
Come, Beatrice.
かけるコインに不足はあるまい。
There's nothing lacking in the coins that have been wagered.
存分に今宵を楽しもうではないか。
Shall we enjoy this night to the fullest?
負ける気はないぞ。お前の微笑みは永遠に私のものだ。もう一度見られるなら、富も名誉も我が命すらも惜しくはない。
I have no intention of losing your smile. It's all mine for all eternity. If I could see it one more time, I wouldn't regret losing my wealth, my honor, or even my life.
さて、ルーレットは回り始めた。
Well then, the roulette has begun to spin.
ボールはどのポケットに落ちるのか。
Which pocket would the ball fall into?
ノワールか、ルージュか、それとも親の総取りか。さあ始めるがいい、ベアトリーチェ。私が再びお前に奇跡の力というものを見せてやる。
Noir or Rouge, or House takes all. Come, you may begin, Beatrice. I'll show you the power of miracles once more. I think it would be a good time to stop here. I don't want to wear out my voice any more than it already has. Wow. That was fun, right? Thanks for the stream, Misery. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Kids have fun, adults prepare to murder each other. Fun times in the family gathering in the middle of isolated island. Like my family reunions. I feel that all too well. But yeah, we'll be getting back into it, maybe sometime next week. Maybe I'll stream again later this week for more Pokemon Infinite Fusion. But yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for coming by. It was definitely a lot of fun. Also, don't forget, October 21st is my anniversary. But I'll be showing off my new look for the beginning of October, since October is going to be my anniversary month anyway. Also, Wizard, you're indeed a sosibasi baka desu. But also, I am currently preparing for anniversary merch, which is not going to be too much because I also have to prepare for convention merch for this December. So it'll be something small, but I hope whoever's interested will be able to pre-order it. It'll be open pretty soon, maybe by the end of the month, hopefully. Misery is going to be special for Spoopy Month. Yes, I got lots of things planned. Mostly just going to be watching a lot of Spoopy movies on Pump. Yeah, 21st night at Pinotober. Hope you guys will be there for that. Until then, I'll wish you guys a goodbye. I will go rest my puppet voice now. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.